the Sunday brunch. A laugh of thought, he hits you with the punch. Lil Joe's mind a maze of gold, from jokes to truth, stories untold. Pull up a chair, let the convo roll. It's the mind of Lil Joe, feeding your soul. Talking about the world from the wild to the mild. Every topic on the table, thoughts free and wild. Chill like a summer breeze, groove so divine. From the cosmos to the corner, all intertwined. Retro funk with a lo-fi swing. Chill rap.
The Exchange Club Family Center is here to help parents learn how to provide a safe and healthy nurturing home environment. If you would like to be a part of the program and live in Nassau, Baker, or Clay counties, please go to the Exchange Club Family Center website at exchangeclubfamilycenter.com. Or if you'd like to become a member of the Exchange Club here in Jacksonville, please also go to our website again at exchangeclubfamilycenter.com.
What happens when your story is too small for the big networks? When your message matters, but you can't afford the spotlight. That's where Purpose-Inspired TV steps in. We're the bridge between the haves and have-nots, covering the events and voices others ignore. Available on Roku and Fire TV, we make professional streaming affordable for everyone. Your purpose deserves a platform. Join Purpose-Inspired TV.
Did you know, only a few years ago, getting on TV was almost impossible for small businesses? Today, everything's changed. Now real access belongs to everyone. For decades, it took deep pockets to get your message on TV or radio. The big companies had all the power, leaving everyday people and businesses out in the cold, but not anymore. At Purpose-Inspired TV, we believe everyone deserves a voice. We make it easy and affordable to put your content on platforms like Roku and Fire TV. No huge budgets, no tech headaches, just a clear path to reaching millions. We're not just another tech company. We're your bridge to new opportunities. Whether you're a business, an organization, or a dreamer with a message, this is your moment, so why not take that next step? Purpose-Inspired TV, access to the world for everyone.
Mic check. What's up, everybody? I'm sorry, I got a couple of technical things I need to work on real quick. Yeah, I can fix this on the fly real quick. This button right here. I don't have my background set up, so. Okay. Audio. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Fleetwood. Check, check, check. There we go. There we go. We are cooking with Crisco. All right. Sorry about that. How we doing? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to, hey, I didn't even do my intro. Hold on a second. Look, see, all this craziness still going on. Let me just let you know what you're doing. This is what we doing. All right, that's how I got to play the show intro. What's up, everybody? This is From the mind of Lil Joe, I'm your host, Lil Joe. We talk about all different types of things, but it's it's like three main topics. I had to figure it out. I've been doing this thing for a long time, and not everybody, a lot of people ask, what's your niche? Everybody got to have a niche. And since I like to talk about a lot of different things, and I narrowed it down, I boiled it down to three things. There's three main things that I like to talk about and discuss and have people on to talk about. And I call them the 3 Ps, PPP. The number one thing I like to talk about is, do y'all know what I like to talk about? Hold on, let me see. I got some comments. Okay. Okay. So I got distracted a little bit. Here we go. The three things that I like to talk about and discuss and have people on about is, number one is purpose. I believe everybody has a purpose. Everybody have a purpose. When I drive through downtown, I like to tell this story all the time. I drive through our downtown here in the beautiful sunny Jacksonville, Florida. There's quite a large homeless population that lives downtown or congregates downtown. There's a couple of homeless shelters down there. They're trying to pass a law to make it illegal to be homeless. It's crazy. But as I drive through there, and sometimes it pops in my mind, what if these people knew what their purpose in life was? I think a lot of people don't know that. I think if they knew what their purpose in life was, they probably would have made a lot of different life decisions and may have not ended that way, ended where they are. And some, even where they are right now, and they can understand and know what their purpose is, it can probably help them get up from where they are. So that's why I say I believe everybody has a purpose. So that's the first P. The second P stands for partnership. What is partnership? Partnership is another form of relationship. So partnership is everywhere. Whatever you do, wherever you go in life, you have to deal with other people. So that's partnership, working with people. And then also, really get into relationships. So I do classes, we teach, we do a lot. I'm telling you, we do a lot dealing with relationships. So that's the second P. And then the third P is politics. It's so much going on in the world. I know when I was growing up, was that the evening news seemed like that was some of the boringest things on TV. Like, people watch the news for the fun of it. And I guess the older I got, the more attention I paid to it. I paid more attention to the news. And now I keep up with it. And now that it's like, we're so, what do they call it, polarized. It's unbelievable. Like the black and white but behind me, not the particular people, but it's like you can have a story and it's still, two people see two different sides of the stories, and two people can come and argue with you about two different sides of the story. And even with they use the Bible, you can have two pastors, one pastor saying this is God's way, and another pastor saying the same thing is not God's way. So it's just crazy. So how the same people can watch the same news and come up with different stories. So what I try to do is I try to find a peaceful solution and a positive, unbiased response to different news stories. Because it's a lot of news. Even we I guess, I don't know if they declared war, but as of this weekend, I say we as United States and Israel are in war with Iran right now. So you have right there, polarized. So many people are saying, yay, we attacked Iran and that's a good thing. And then you got a lot of other people saying, boo, that's a bad thing that we attacked Iran. So how is it that we got to this point where we are seeing, like I said, come up with two different answers, two different solutions? And we are celebrating. I want to talk about a little bit about, this is Women's History Month. We just left Black History Month. Now we're in Women's History Month, and I think we should celebrate all people. And there's some people still talking about when is going to be White History Month. Or I've seen people they're starting to vote down to try to get rid of Black History Month. You know, Black History Month is still American History Month. But I think different communities in different states are trying to get rid of Black History Month. And even, Juneteenth. I just saw a city council in I think it was a small town, I'm not sure, that they just voted to get rid of Juneteenth and not celebrate Juneteenth, but to reestablish and start celebrating Columbus Day. Yeah, that's what they voted on. They rather celebrate Columbus, who probably never been to these here United States, instead of celebrating Juneteenth, the people who actually helped build this country. But why is it such a divide? Why does people get so angry? And again, they say, why don't we celebrate White History Month? Well, White History Month is every month. Do I have to explain that? Do people have to really explain why it's not a White History Month when, quote unquote, white history that's pretty much been the default. Majority of your books is, a lot of them only white, quote unquote, white. But that's the society we're in. It's black and white and brown and redskins or whatever. But it's basically a lot of our history books here, especially here in America, it's taught the things that, quote unquote, white people did. They were the smartest. They were the greatest. They're the only ones that did anything, and no one else was smart enough to do anything else. That's the foundation. That's what was started. So even if a person of color did accomplish something, let's go all the way back to the slave time, if the slaves were, quote unquote, owned by someone, that owner took the credit. So there's a whole lot of inventions that person of color, even, let's go back to the light. I got a lot of lights on around here. Even the light bulbs. They said Edison invented a light bulb, but they say a person of color invented a light bulb, but the person of color worked for Edison. Edison took the credit. So there's a lot of inventions that people of color invented, but they did not get credit for it. So now, looking at the history book, they're not in there. So now you got a history book, you open up the history book, there's pretty much nothing but what all white people did and nobody else. So now we are free to, we got to the point I don't know if it all went back to a day, but it was a Black History Week. So this had 1 week set aside out of the 52 weeks in the year to help teach and spread what people of color did. And they call it Black History Month. And then it eventually, I think from the Black History Week until this year, 2025, it's been 100 years. It's been 100 years of celebrating Black History Week month to be able to celebrate it. So I think that's a good thing. And I always say Black history is not only people of color, it's American history. It's not just Black history, it's American history. So even it was removed. And we're kind of like reverting back to that way. We're making American non-great again. So a lot of the history books of people of color, even Hank Aaron, man, the book Hank Aaron's, people who shouldn't be any controversy at all, their books have been removed from the libraries and from the schools here in the state of Florida. I don't know how it's doing in other states, but in Florida, a lot of books that's teaching about people of color, Black people, brown people, indigenous people, even women, and even other. I hate to put the sexual identities with this, but even with sexual identities, they remove those books. So if it's teaching history, it's teaching the truth. I don't believe it should be removed. But some people feel that it makes them or their quote unquote race feel bad of what their ancestors did. But that's not history. Is history. If you don't learn and understand and gain some understanding from that history, we're going to repeat it again. And we see how history constantly repeats itself over and over and over again. So we would like to stop repeating stuff over and over again. So I want to talk about a little bit of women history. I want to do a little highlight of my past weekend. I don't know if y'all know that I teach some classes from time to time. I teach helping you get started with social media, basic social media, using the tools like your cell phones. Right now, I'm using professional cameras here I'm on several platforms right now. I'm on like 3 or 4 Facebook pages right now. I'm live on YouTube. I'm on my From the Mind of Lil Joe page. I'm on the Purpose Inspired TV page. I'm on my YouTube channel. All that is through these professional cameras, through this computer here. And over to my left, I have my cell phone set up. That's my live on my personal page. So I teach a lot of this. You don't need all these tools. You don't need all this stuff to get started, to get going. You don't need all that. So just to go live on your one page, just need that. I'm looking right in just that one camera. So inside that camera, your phone, inside your cell phone is a professional camera, professional video camera, audio, microphone, everything, internet, everything that you need is built into your smartphone. That's why they call it a smartphone. So I teach people how to use that to get started. But then if you get advanced, to go on and start doing other things, to be able to switch to multiple camera setup and lightings. I got lights all over the place. So I teach that kind of thing. And I also, for the last year and a half, longer than that, I've been learning about AI. But AI is constantly changing. But this past Saturday, I taught a AI for business class. It was for business. It was daycare business owners. It was at the Kids Hope Alliance. So we had a nice little crowd there. We had a pretty good time. So I taught for an hour and a little more than an hour. It was people at different skill sets. They feel like they never use AI. If you got a cell phone or you got a smart TV, use AI. AI has been around and in use for over 70 years. It's been over 70 years. So anyway, I did some basic stuff and was showing them some tips on how to use AI to help them with their daycare and how to use AI to have the AI to do repetitive things. And so basically using the AI will help you save time. When you save time, you save money. So the most valuable thing on earth right now is time. So you need to use that wise as much as possible. So AI is stepping up to do that, to be in that place. All right, so that's my little catch up. So like I said, we taught the class, and I'm probably gonna plan another one live here. We have a office, a conference room here in Jacksonville on Dunn Avenue. I think we can hold around 50 people. So we're going to set up another event, a live event, and I'll probably stream it, but a live event where myself and probably bring some other people that we can teach a small class on some basics, just get people started with people a lot of people are still afraid. People are afraid of AI. So, and I can tell them that you've probably been using, you've been using AI indirectly for years already. And then a lot of people, AI is gonna make me lose my job. So AI is not gonna take your job. What's gonna happen? The person that learns how to use AI is gonna be the one that takes your job. So it's time to go ahead and learn how to use the AI now And you don't have to be no expert. I don't think there's ever going to be a person's expert because it's so wide, it's so vast. It's just impossible for anyone to be an expert on AI. And another one is it's large, and then it changes every day. When I was preparing for that class, I suppose I did it back last November at this one location. I supposed to talk to class, and so I'm getting prepared for the class, and this is stuff I'm going to teach on. And at the same time, while I'm preparing to teach, I'm still learning. So while I'm still learning, the stuff is changing. So I'm changing my lesson plan. You know, I think I changed it like 3 times before it was time for me to actually teach the class. That's how fast AI changes. So that's why it's kind of close to impossible for a person to learn everything about AI. So it's basic to learn the basics, understand how it works, learn how to use some particular tools, because it's endless about how many tools are out there to use. So basically, we just teach a basic class and get you going. All right, so that's where we are with the AI. So hopefully you want to learn about AI, you want to learn about you don't want to learn about social media and writing. This last plug before I move on. I'm teaching a class to help people write a book. We're in a class we're in a book writing workshop. Short book, nonfiction book. So here's one of them that I'm working on. I've already wrote it with the help of technology. So I finished the book. It's a 10 chapter book. What I need to do is go back and review the book. Let me show you over there. So you see this a controversial title. So the title is Israel, Friend or Foe, A Christian's Dilemma. And even that, I done learned so much. I think I wrote this back in December. And the information I'm learning now about what's going on over there in Israel, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and the people that's the government of Israel. There's a land of Israel. There's a people of Israel, and there's Jews, and there's Jewish. So I've been learning all of that. I'm like, it's got my brain throbbing like it's deep, y'all. So there it is. So that's why it is. I believe it's a dilemma, because you have, like I said, and I guess it's from the point of view of a God-believing, true Christian, quote unquote Christian. So some people are saying that we're 100% supposed to back Israel, the government of Israel. So we're supposed to send them billions of dollars, and no matter what they do, we're supposed to support it. And I think that got us to where we are now. Wow, we're at the war right now. I believe Israel is the one that really pushed this war that we're in. Some people are like, yeah, it's been happening for years. I'm not even getting to that, but I don't think we would be in this situation if America wasn't wrapped. If America wasn't wrapped around Israel's pinky, that's how you say it. All right, but I digress. Let's move on. So I want to talk about some women's history. Kick off Women's History Month. So yeah, that's it. So I think every week I'm gonna probably show a different book that I'm writing. It's one. Ooh, this is a good one. It's a good one. I guess it is for women who are trying to like to be in a relationship. And I actually wrote a song. I wrote a song about it too. It's a song that goes with it, and a book. And the name of the book is Before You Look for the One, Become the One. Woo, man, and I love that song. You want to hear the song? The song is on out my. I have a I have a YouTube channel. By YouTube, right here, we have Purpose Inspired TV. Right here. Right there. Purpose Inspired TV. So Purpose Inspired TV, y'all know. We have a TV channel. Our TV channel is Purpose Inspired TV. We're on Roku. We're on Fire TV. That's all those commercials I keep playing. That's what that's about. So we're looking for people to go on, to be a part of it. We're actually looking for people to join the team. We're actually looking for new content creators with all of it, all the above. So that's the TV channel. But also, I made a YouTube channel of Purpose Inspired TV Music. Yes, Purpose Inspired TV Music. Right now, I think I have, I can't remember right now. I think I got like 20 songs up there. But one of them is Be the One. Check it out. Let me know how you like it. Check all the music out. More to come. So it's a lot. You see a lot of things I'm working on. So I can teach people how to make this music I'm making. So I make the song, and then I turn around. I use AI to make some of the music videos. Then I put it on YouTube. So I'm gonna work on making some more. Actually, I'm working on setting up a faceless YouTube channel. So that should be up and running real soon. I'm working on From the Mind of Lil Joe. That's my the book that I'm working on, a book and a cartoon from when I grew up. So I got a lot of videos out there on my other, I think it's called Lil Joe's Crazy Adventure YouTube channel. So I have some of those videos up there. But okay, all right. I'm bring it back around. Okay, so now let's talk about, like I said, I did all this talking about Black History Month. So now we just stepped into Women's History Month. And what I like to do, I have Black History content on the channel for Black History Month. Now I need to go back in there and change that out. So that's the stuff that we do with the channel. Some of the on-demand stuff, like I said, you could have watched some Black History, just movies, some old movies, documentaries, things, just a lot of history. So I'm going to I don't do all the work. I got a team. So some of the people, we're going to take some of the Black History stuff off the channel now. We're not taking it. Okay. I can move stuff around. I can put stuff up top and all that kind of stuff. So when you first go to the channel, you see Black History. So we're going to move the Black History stuff and put Women's History stuff up there. So you can go up there, you can start seeing different on-demand things and shows that you can watch about women's history. And we're going to start dropping that throughout the month of March. And I forgot what point I was trying to make, but okay, yes, you can start seeing. I haven't did it yet. I need to update it and put some of the women's history stuff up there. So, that's what I'm thankful for. The channel, I can use that. So now throughout the year, when other, I know it's like Asian American History Month. It's just like every month seems like it's something. I don't celebrate every single month, but majority of the months we try to update it and put different, the month and try to celebrate the different groups of people. So we're like all inclusive. We are off. I believe the country is great because of diversity. I think the country is great because of inclusion. I think the country is great because we strive to have equality. You see? Okay, so here we go. I'm jumping off here to women's history. So for my first one, my little note right here, I'm gonna get into my notes. The woman who refused to give up her seat. So she celebrated during Black History Month, but she can also be celebrated in Women's History Month. Miss Rosa Parks. So a lot of people, I believe everybody don't know the story, but there was another woman before Rosa Parks that did similar, but that's another story. I'm telling y'all this, and I got this right here in my notes. Before Rosa Parks, there was Claudette Calvin, a 15-year-old who refused to give up her bus in 1955, months earlier before Rosa Parks. She wasn't chosen for the face, but Miss Rosa Parks was chosen to go through what she had to go through to get this movement that helped spark that movement and showing people what was happening, and to get people of color to boycott. I believe, how long did that, I think that boycott, now see, I'm trying to do stuff off the top of my head. I think it was like a year and a half that people of color refused to ride the bus. And if some people can be stubborn and don't want to change, but if you touch their pocketbook, you touch the money flow, Yeah, buddy, you can get some action. So they was losing so much money. So with so many people of color riding the bus, but you want them to ride in the back, or they was paying the same amount of money, but they had to be second class, or if the seats in the back of the bus they couldn't get on, they had to stay out in the rain. So no, so they went on a boycott, I think, for about a year and a half. So the people came together. They carpooled, they walked, they rode bicycles, they did everything they could to prevent from riding the bus. So a lot of people who, especially down here in the city that we live in, some people ride the bus, but it's not all that important. But other places where everybody don't have a car and you depend heavily on the bus system, yeah, I think y'all understand. But I like I said, down here, just the people who ride the bus might understand. The normal people, and you don't think twice about the bus until we at a bus stop, a big bus coming by. Okay, so moving on. Next woman I want to highlight for Women's History Month is the first self-made female millionaire. And did you know, we're going back to Black history again. The first self-made female millionaire was a woman of color also. Madam C.J. Walker built healthcare. She built a healthcare empire in the early 1900s. Became America's first self-made female millionaire. She started with a, what is that? It says washwoman. Oh, she was like washing clothes. She used to wash clothes for about $1.50 a day. But she still moved forward. She did not just break the glass ceiling, she built her own building. So that is powerful, especially the way, so people of color were already having a hard time during that time. Now women even had less rights as with some in some areas, some categories. Some I'm gonna get into, so how you'll see what I mean. Even like this one right here, women once couldn't have credit cards, so women couldn't have credit cards. Women couldn't do certain things without a man, and we know voting is one. I'm gonna get to that, but they couldn't do certain things. It's still it's that way in some other parts of the country, not country, of the world. But here in America, most women have their freedoms, but a lot of people don't understand a lot of the civil rights that the people of color, Black people, went through and fought for and died for and was hung for. When they obtained those civil rights, it was not only for them, it was for all people, even white people, even white men benefited from the civil rights fight. So they was fighting against stuff, but they were still able to benefit from it. So here in 1974, can I tell you, I just celebrate, actually, what's today? Yeah, actually, a month ago, I just celebrated my 55th birthday. Yeah, 1 month old. So yeah, a month ago, I celebrated my 55th birthday. So that means even when I was born, women, here we go, 1974. So I was born, and women in the United States couldn't open a credit card without a husband or a male cosigner. So that was another one of these equal rights. So that was, we had to have Equal Credit Opportunity Act. So all these fighting for equal rights is not only for people of color. So now a lot of these laws are being turned over and reversed and all that kind of stuff because certain people who don't like people of color thinking it only benefits people of color. So maybe if we get rid of these rights, we can hurt the people of color. You're hurting more than just the people of color. Even like the voting rights, you are hurting all sorts of people, not just white people. So Black people. Let's go down that road. So we know the SAVE Act. Y'all know about this, the SAVE Act. That I don't know if it passed all the way, but part of the SAVE Act is having to have a passport to be able to vote. So because they said they made everybody to go get this real ID. They made us got to go get that real ID. Go get the real ID. Give all this information, and now they decided, oh well, we don't want to accept the real ID. So now the only way for you to be able to vote now, we want you to have a your birth certificate. Now some of those birth certificates kind of old and dudgy. You got to get a new birth certificate, but they said they really want you to have a passport. A majority of the people of the country do not have a passport. A majority of the people who are screaming about this, they're saying that a lot of, like I said, they say they complain about liberals, so that liberals is kind of like Democrat. They complain about them being educated and traveling and all that. So a lot of them, okay, yes, they got education and they travel the world. So that means to travel the world, they need to have passports. So a large percentage of the quote unquote, the ones that they don't like, what they call them, the crazy libs, a large percentage of them have passports. And a large percentage of the people who are against the libs, they don't have a passport. So they already, kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. And another part of that SAVE Act is affecting women. Going back to women's, celebrating women's, Women's Month, Women's History Month. So here's the deal. They want all your information to match your birth certificate. What did your birth certificate say when you was born? So if a woman was born Jones and then she married someone and her name became Harry, so she ready to go to vote, she's whipping out her paperwork. It says Harry. No, it doesn't match Jones. You can't vote. That's the kind of stuff that's happening with the SAVE Act. I think a lot of people don't understand that's what's going on. Let me get it. Woo. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand that that's what's going on. Is the hardcore, is that the right word to use? Well, the people that wrote the Project 2025, they got a Project Esther. Basically, they don't want women to have the right to vote. No, that might shock you. Switch to this camera. Yep, that might shock you, but they don't want women to vote. One reason they don't want women to vote, majority of the women, they vote Democrat. They don't mind having diversity, equality, and inclusion. So they say a lot of women feel that stuff should be more equal, so they don't want them to be able to vote. So that's one reason they want to take the right of the women's right to vote away. And then some people are so, I say some people, some of them are so, I don't know the word. They say it's biblical, but I don't think so. They're trying to say that the man should be the head of the household, so the man should be able to make all the decisions. So the man should be able to vote. And right now, they see that some men vote for one party and their wife might vote for another party. So to eliminate that, let's just take the right of the woman to be able to vote. Let's just take that away. So yeah, that's how we are regressing. So all that stuff that black folks went through to get voting rights, and that gave women was able to just come on in to get some voting rights. So now they're trying to reverse it and take those rights away. So that's why we need to stay educated. We need to stay informed on what's going on in the world. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. A woman helped put a man on the moon. Did y'all see that movie I think it's called Figures? Ooh, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. And for a lot of people that didn't know how things worked during the Jim Crow era, where stuff was segregated, separated. So they show. I just remember this one scene in my mind now, where the young lady was doing the work. She was doing the work, but the only bathroom that she could use well, I think I'm guessing because it's been a while since I watched the movie. It was, let's say, like a mile and a half away. So the building she was working in, whites only. Yeah, it was a lot of things. So people, younger people that don't know, it was signs that says white only all over, especially in the South, but a lot of places in the country, whites only. So they couldn't use the water fountain, they couldn't use the bathroom, they couldn't go. I keep saying they, we with the skin color couldn't go into certain restaurants. So again, so we had to do like read the sign and go through what we had to go through. So in the movie, yeah, she's working with these a lot of white men, but it was no colored folks bathroom in the building. So she had to leave and walk a long ways, and sometimes had to go in the rain and all this kind of stuff. And then her boss one day asked her, why you keep coming back late? Why you always late? And so she let him have it. Boy, that was a good scene. I got to walk all the way over here and to use the bathroom. I got to walk that far. It's no bathrooms that we can use over here. And she went to the bathroom and it says whites only. And he took something, I can't remember. I think he took an axe or something and just chopped that sign down. He just chopped it down, and there's no more black and white bathrooms. It's only bathrooms. So that it was a powerful scene. So that wasn't like that in the entire country. That was at NASA at that one place. But you see how times have changed and see how that benefited women. And you just recently, I think last year, the government said that they could start having segregation again. So basically, the government didn't deal with people who dealt with segregation and racism in their business. But now our present government now say, it's fine. If you got separate and segregation stuff going in your business, it don't matter no more. We'll still do business with you. So that's a sad place for us to be going backwards instead of forward. So Katherine Johnson calculated the flight path to NASA mission, including Apollo 11. Astronaut John Glenn refused to fly until she verified the numbers. So, and that's powerful. So John Glenn trusted her mouth, trusted how well she did her job so much that I need to run it. So that's we talking about AI. That's he trusted her way more than the AI, better than the computers. If we going by her numbers, if she said it ain't right, we're not doing it. So a lot of people, it was the reverse. They're like, people of color, they dumb. People of color don't know what they talking about, blah, blah, blah. This guy she knew what she was doing, so he trusted her. The world trusted computers, but the astronaut trusted her. Ooh, that is powerful. Everybody else was trusting the computers, but they did not trust the computers. They wanted her to make sure the numbers were right. And that's why I teach that in my class too, that AI is not always right. It's not always right. You need to check your work, check behind them. I call it, AI can give you knowledge, but not wisdom. So not knowledge, information. What did I say? Yeah. Going to AI real fast. AI will give you lots of information. You bring in your knowledge. Take your knowledge, mix it with that information, come up with some wisdom. Use it. When you use it wisely, it's wisdom. So a lot of people are trying to use just that information from AI and skip your knowledge and bring out a product. You got something crazy. We still need the human involved when you're using the AI. Okay. The Hidden Figures were real. The movie Hidden Figures tell the story of Black women mathematicians who helped win the space race. Many worked in segregated conditions. So they were essential but invisible. So they did this hard mathematical work without these powerful computers that we have today. But it was, like I said before, it was still during the segregation time. Most definitely, the white men didn't want a black man working there. Most definitely didn't want a white woman working with them. So they gave them a hard time. So it was rough, but they still pushed through and they helped with that, with their mission. So if you haven't seen the movie Hidden Figures, I suggest you go check it out. Do y'all know when the first woman ran for president? Do you know? Can I go to my notes? Does anybody know when the first person? Somebody put in the comments that y'all know when the first woman ran for president. I don't see nobody trying to, let me see. I don't know. I can't see the comments on that one. But all right, I'll tell you. It was way 1872. 1872. 101 years before I was born. Victoria Woodhull ran for U.S. president before women could even vote. And that's some boldness right there, boy. We can't vote, but I'm running for president. Oh, man. Yeah, back in 1872, Miss Victoria Woodhull, so I don't remember even learning about her growing up. She ran for a position in a system that didn't even recognize her voice, didn't recognize, like, you, talking about a woman. So a black man was already struggling, and women, in certain situations, it was worse. They had it even worse than that. And so that's why I keep on saying, when the people of color fought for these equal rights, it was rights for everybody. And like they're saying, even with the DEI, like President just announced that the State of the Union, DEI is dead, and everybody started clapping. You know, the number one recipient of the DEI, the number one person, the number one people that got the most advantage and most use out of it was white women. But they don't know that. They didn't pay attention to that. But, okay, let me move on. I hope this air conditioner just kicked in. I hope. Women led the Montgomery bus boycott too. While we hear of Martin Luther King Jr., women like Joanne Robinson organized the boycott behind the scenes. Movements don't move without women. So they were saying, so yes, we needed women big time for that movement to move forward. So even when Martin Luther King wasn't here or he was traveling, yes, women played a very, very vital part. Do you know, I'm taking another left turn. Did you know of somebody, it's one of the most famous persons in the world, and they traveled a lot of different places, and women was one of their biggest supporters and biggest sponsors? That's a good old trivia question. But you know who I'm talking about? He was one of the most famous, in some places, most famous person in the world. And the way he traveled and moved and did his work, it was really helped and sponsored by women. Would you know who I'm talking about? I tell you, it was Jesus the Christ. Yes, Jesus traveled, went a lot of places. Y'all know, you can read the Bible and tell you where he went and all the different things that he was doing and the miracles and helping people. All that traveling, majority of that traveling, women especially, I can't think of her name right now, women with money and authority. I'm sorry to hear some strange noises. What is that? Okay. All right, I don't know what that is. But, okay, where am I? All right, let me move on. I don't know, got a little distracted. All right, the first computer programmer was a woman. Alda Lovelace wrote the first algorithm, you should know what that word is now, in the 1800s, before modern computers even existed. That is unbelievable. What is, I'm serious, I'm hearing something. Do I have to go and find out what that is? I'm gonna keep going. She saw the future before the machine even existed, and that's powerful to be able to be a visionary to see, where we are now more than 100 years later. Women are the backbone of World War II industry. During World War II, women made up nearly 40% of the workforce. Rosie the Riveter, y'all know about Rosie the Riveter, wasn't just propaganda, it was reality. So, a lot of men were taken away from the country. We was overseas fighting. We took the man from the home, took man from the warehouses, took men from all the jobs, and was sent overseas, so it left a big void, a big gap. So now a lot of the homemakers, a lot of the women that was staying home, they had to get out there and do these hard jobs that the men were doing to support the war. So that was some hard labor. So that was Rosie the Riveter that kept this machine of making machines moving forward. So I got Serena Williams. That's changed the game of tennis. Serena Williams has 23 Grand Slam single titles. 23. This is crazy. 23. She dominated while facing racism, sexism, and criticism for her color and her body. So a lot of y'all, if y'all follow sports, you can know what Serena, but especially Venus, what Venus went through. And I believe I believe the reason why Serena got so great and powerful and able to win this is because of her sister Venus. So how do you become the best at what you do? How do you become the best in the world? You got to compete with the best. So to have a sister like Venus with her greatness, I believe that's what created and made Serena. And what if they had another younger sister that played against Serena? Can you imagine her skill set, her skill level? So that's a lot of stuff that some of the stuff I didn't learn in school, and it's still not to hurt anybody. It was rough. The women's suffrage, when the women were fighting to get the right to vote, or fighting to get pretty much any rights. So not to say, hey, not white folks. I'm sorry, women didn't have to go through. Women still going through right now. A lot of women are not getting paid the same. Doing the same work but not getting paid the same level. So still a lot of things that women are going through, and we still need to remember where they came from and stuff that they have contributed to the society and to the world. So that's why I like I said, with the channel, I like to highlight those different things, highlight the different people, and bring history. So a lot of times we're taught the same. It's some of the same history is repeated over and over and over again. It's like, okay, I learned that. I know about that person. I know about those, this person, that person. I'm not even gonna say their names. Y'all know. We know about the good 4-5 people every year. We learn about the same people, and then people dress up. We dress up like them. So it's the same thing. So now we should learn more about the true history. So there was a certain history that certain people want to put out. And it's kind of like a picture. So what I see now is the country only wants to put on a happy, smiley face. What I mean by that is we want to pretend that we, as a country, were angels, never did anything wrong. We always did right. Always did stuff the right way, and stuff done against people and stuff that's done wrong, we want that hidden. So no, the truth needs to be released and revealed. It shouldn't be hidden. good, bad, and ugly. I served in the military. I served in the Navy. And what I like to tell people is I know that some of the people that I was serving with didn't like me because of my skin color. I knew that. I've been through some situations, even some Americans. I've been some places. I think I don't get to talk about racism, but I grew up in North Carolina, in the South. So I grew up around racism, but when I went to, Boston for the first time, it seemed like that's the most racist that it was a different type of racist. It's hard to say. It's kind of like I don't know, but I know we had Southern. It was Southern hospitality. So even if the people didn't like me for my skin color, if I needed help, some of the I call them good old boys, they will stop and come and give me a helping hand. Not when I went to Boston. I'm not really trying to talk bad about you, Boston. If anybody from Boston listening, but people was like I was in my Navy uniform, and they was like running across the street to get away from me. It's like they were just totally afraid of me. I'm like, in the South, they wasn't afraid. They didn't want to. Sometimes they didn't want to deal with me, and I knew where some places where I shouldn't go at night, or even in the daytime. Like I knew to stay away from that area, stay away from that area. But you in this common area, okay, they might not like me. I can tell by the flag and it's whatever. But I still didn't feel the way. But I was like, when I went to Boston, like they just literally crossing the street to get away from me. You probably seen in the movies the sign is open. Like you go there to ask them, they flip the sign over, say close. That's the kind of treatment I got when I went to Boston. I had my sailor uniform on, and that's what they closing up shop, locking doors, crossing the street. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, I'm here fighting for you, and you treating me like this. But I digress. And back up. I don't even know what I look like on time. My time is up. Well, thank y'all for joining me this evening. I was trying to kick off Women's History Month to get a little bit of education. I would like to get into some more. I would like to bring on some guests. Do y'all have a guest? You have a woman guest to come bring it on, and talk about some women's history. I do. I just got one right now. Miss Bethune, down there in Daytona. Miss Bethune, I'm good, kind of close with Miss Bethune. She's the granddaughter of Miss Bethune that started Bethune-Cookman University down there with only, oh my goodness, how much? She just had, oh man, it was a little bit of money. Let's put it that way. It was a little bit of money. She started a whole college. So I could probably bring her on. I'm just thinking right now, I know some other people, some powerful women that can come on and talk about some great women's history. And it doesn't have to be black women. So if we got any race woman, I'm giving her invite right now. You are welcome to come on. And actually, I know I got it. See, there's stuff coming to my head right now. I got a judge I met that's running. She's a lawyer running for judge here. I think I'm gonna get her on to talk about not only her running for office, but I know she know about women's history. So now that's not like 1 minute women didn't have the right to vote, and now we got women on the Supreme Court, and that's powerful. That is powerful there. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to be airing this on our TV show, Purpose Inspired TV. Let me know. I see a little comment. I'm going to try to check the comments. Anyway, I guess I don't know why. I got some haters out there that don't like what I'm doing. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Keep on moving forward. Okay, so again, thank y'all for joining me. Let me know. Y'all want to join in, check us out, Purpose Inspired TV. All right, until next time, God bless
and peace and soul. Lil Joe out.